hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
What happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Good evening, good evening. Sorry about that. Good evening. Welcome to my channel, Unrated Darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. We got a good one for y'all. We waiting for my brother Guy NollyWood. The title is Eldridge Cleaver. Eldridge Cleaver, Self Emotions. Let's talk about it. Guy NollyWood, hashtag the truth 2025 #1 grinder. So we're gonna wait and see our brother coming through and stuff. And hold on for 1 second. coming, family. We coming. Hold on. Good evening, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Now, let me take care of this first. Hold on. Introduce yourself, please, brother, before we continue.
I hear echo. Okay. Let me okay. My name is Guy NollyWood Jr. I represent the RBG Nation. I'm Pan-African all day, every day. And so that's pretty much it. I mean, you know.
Okay, cool. Let's see something. All right. So, yeah. So, well, again, welcome to my channel. Already dark is yours truly, #1 grinder. The best of the business. You know what I mean? One of the best kept secrets on social media, and we got a good one for y'all. Eldridge Cleaver, self-emotion. Let's talk about it with Brother God NollyWood. Let me get these announcements out the way. Shout out to my underrated one family. Keep on grinding, keep on grinding, keep on grinding. Shout out to No Duck Zone family. Yeah, Brother McLean and rest of his family. Also, shout out to the mighty LDBC that stands for no, he's not from Nigeria, he's from New York. I mean, we raised in New York. Welcome to the LDBC. Shout out to LDBC, if that's Lions Den, Boston community, also basketball community, and shout out to the brothers there. So me and the brother, we talked about a lot. You know, we keep in contact offline at times, and we were talking about different things, and we want to talk about self-emotion tonight. Why is we have to really seriously really think about it and to deal with it and everything. And so before I give it to my brother here, as y'all already know, back in the 60s, the late great Eldridge Cleaver, Eldridge Cleaver, let's be honest here, we always respect him, what he do for the party, for our people. So let me get that out there. But the one thing that we're going to really talk about tonight, that what he had done to the Black Panther, I'm talking about when the young brother, the young brother Bobby Hutton got shot, and he was a young Black Panther, and we need to shout out to him, and had him assassinated by the police, and by his overzealous self-promotion, the Black Panther had to exile the late great Eldridge Cleaver. And we're gonna talk about that tonight. So now I'm gonna turn to the brother right here. You can go and speak right now.
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Yeah, we definitely been talking about I lost the train of thought. I'm sorry.
Self-promotion.
Yeah, self-promotion, yes. And yes. So we was talking about people overreacting, right? And sometimes your emotions can detour a movement that can basically create like a self-destruction, you know what I'm saying? Or it could cause somebody getting hurt, or and we came up with a couple of examples. Eldridge Cleaver for one, and how he wanted to go up against the pigs, and we already know the pigs is the police, and to the point that somebody ended up getting killed. Which it was a young brother, I forgot his name.
Bobby Hunter.
Bobby Hunter, yes.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Jesse got it right. Shut up. Oh, let me, before you continue, we got a Black Panther on presence in it, because Jesse Paris, his father, started a chapter in Denver, Colorado. And that's his son. It's in the chat. There's history right there.
Okay, shout out to him.
Yes.
Wow.
I just want to put it out there.
So my thing is more like, when do I think you and I on the radio, we came up with a couple of examples. We came out with somebody like Nat Turner's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, was she emotional when she said, hey, don't just get after the men, get after all the family, because you don't, that's how you're gonna, you don't want the children growing up to be the slave owners. Then we talk about Malcolm X's mother. So those are situations where that could get kind of tricky, because you had made a good point. It was like, well, if Malcolm X's mother, if Malcolm X's father did what the mother wanted to do, then their whole family would be at risk. And I'm kind of like, with me, it's kind of like, man, it's like a tug of war. You know what I mean? It's like, when do we strike, and like those situations, or when do we even with Eldridge Cleaver, like I can understand why he did what he did, because Black people was getting gunned down by police, getting shot in the back, and then lie and say, oh, he resisted. Like, it's strategizing is one thing, and I don't know, sometimes I have different views on certain things. Sometimes I'm more radical, and but I can understand the certain steps why people have taken and say, look, we cannot have that, because we got to go this way and stick to it, because a lot of people going to get killed, a lot of people going to get hurt. But there's now that's tricky. Yeah, but there's another situation, another side to it, where that people is the coonery that Black people do, right? That just is not tolerated, what we stand for. And those type of people need to be like need to go away. You know what I'm saying? They need to be ostracized. They need to be vanished. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not fitting into the revolution. They doing what they doing what the oppressor want them to do, or the colonizer, or whatever you want to call them. They're when we call the sellouts, the traitors, those are people that I'm more concerned about than just somebody like who took the action of people like Nat Turner, took the action like Eldridge Cleaver. I don't know. I think I'm more worried about the people that actually go out their way to try to destroy, or what we're trying to do as a people is trying to keep things together. Then somebody just saying, okay, somebody who's been traumatized and say, look, I'm tired of marching. I'm not doing the marching no more. I'm not doing the protesting. I'm going to just go radical. I'm just going to just gun blazing. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the whole Dr. King and Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are we going to continue marching and protesting, or are we going to just go gun blazing? You know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you think on that? It's kind of like the same thing.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but we're not going to tell everybody what we really talk about. We're going to leave some things out. But
Okay,
what I'm saying is this: that us as men, we think logic,
right?
and we have to understand that we have to stand on that. Sometimes we're not gonna say a woman. We're gonna say about people that are self-motivated. I said self-motivated emotion. I just came up with that. They want to do the right thing, but at the same time, they let their emotions get in the way instead of the longer term. They think of the short term. So sometimes us as real men, we have to really think, strategize. And sometimes they can say, "Wait, we should go. Let's think on it. Let's talk about it, because if we move right here, that could hurt us." And so, for me, when we have overly zealous, emotional people, sometimes it kills the flight for us as a people. It kills the liberation. It kills the fight of everything. And as for me as a black man, I'm tired of it, because sometimes we could be marching. Not marching. Sometimes we could be right there and have a substantial, but it's always going to be so. We got to go. And I understand they might have the best intentions, but at the same time, sometimes they kill it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I definitely agree on that. I think sometimes, like when we were talking about how women can be very emotional, and they can be, I would say basically overly emotional. Over emotionally, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, overly emotional, where that they don't think. And yes, we have to sit down and have meetings, because if you look at the Europeans, how they strategize and how they took over land and all that, they had to have a meeting and strategize and say, okay, once they came to a conclusion, say, okay, this is what we're going to do. If A don't work, then we're going to resort to B. And I think that's what we need to do. It has to be, like you say, we have to be form a meeting. Now, that I can understand, but when there's a situation where that it's more like, okay, some situations where there's no meeting, sometimes you got to take action right there and there, right? So somebody invades your home, right? Are you going to, I want to use the word unalive them, or are you just going to just try to scare them away? You know what I mean? Those little things like that is just more like, because if you got a family to protect, you know what I'm saying, or you got people that you're trying to protect or somebody trying to harm you, I think there's more of whatever you have to do, you just do it. Whatever comes into play, you just got to do it.
Right.
So I'm saying, so those are sticky situations that I'm talking about where, you know, a judgment call has to be called right there and there.
Right.
But we don't have a time to sit there and talk about it. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. And you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying, brother, right? We have seen momentum things that we have been fighting for, right?
Right.
And I want you to understand, I'm not gonna say want you, I want people to understand what I'm saying. And we had the right motive for the right everything. But it'll always be a few just let's go after them, let's go. And instead of this, sometimes cooler heads have to prevail. It doesn't take away your revolutionary self.
Right.
It doesn't take away from that. So for me, and what you're saying, he made valid points, and I want people to understand that I'm not against what the brother is saying. He absolutely right what he's saying. He's absolutely right, and I want us to take heed of that. Because sometimes no, you got to act right then and there. So, but I'm just tired because even let's take reparations. It just came to my mind. Let's take reparations. We right there. I'm not right there, not close, but we on the movement. And it be some of our people, oh, we don't need it and stuff like that. You know, get emotional with it and stuff. I'm sorry, let me turn on the video. I want people to see the background. This is what we talking about. You see these two men right there? They the ones started the Black Panther Party back in 1966. So they had the 10-point program, and then all was really talk about really coming together, but hold our emotional intact. And so get back to reparations. It always be those self-emotional made. Oh, we don't need it and stop, and it stopped.
Right.
And I'm tired of it because we losing already as a people. Every issue that we fight for, we losing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was thinking about you when I put that up, Brother Jesse. See, because we have to be in alignment with our feelings. I'm talking about the black man and the black woman. And so, like, I did say this on the phone with Brother Guye, NollyWood, and I want you to go in the chat. Brother Guye and I, one of the few brothers that fight for us as a people. I want you to go hit that. Hit my Brother Guye NollyWood channel, all right? I want you to support it, right? One of the few brothers I've met, I'm waiting for a long time. Go, all right? I got to get that out there. So we have to understand here, even the civil rights movement. We fought for, we got the civil rights, anytime, brother, anytime. So, and guess a form of action who benefited? The white woman.
Right.
Overly emotional, right? Self-emotional. Instead of we put our emotion for our people, we overthink it, overreacting. That's something that could build for us. And to me personally, I'm tired of it. And these people need to be in the corner somewhere. And the ones that are like-minded, had their emotion intact, need to move on to make sure our people keep on pressing.
Facts.
And so we have to understand we not take nothing, because I know Brother Jesse said he don't respect him and his father don't respect Eldridge Cleaver and stuff. And I want you to explain that, but I think I know what you're talking about. You listen to what you're saying. I want you to put in the chat why you don't, and we can explore on that. But I think I know what you're talking about. But I want you to put it in the chat, Brother Jesse. And for me, outside looking in, he calls our young our young soldier, Bobby Hutton, to get shot by the pigs over his overreaction of self-emotion.
Right, right.
I understand there's a lot that's happened due to the close of the decade of the 60s. And as for me, I was very disappointed. He did great things for the Panthers, yes. But that one error that he caused that put Black Panther back, and years later, little by little, have been dissolved. That's one of them.
Yeah.
So the Black Panther, rightfully so, had to make sure that he had to go in isolation. And I agree with that. You know, let me see, he's a traitor. He got Bobby Hutton killed, and he's a woman beater. As a woman, I heard about that, but I understand you told me he's you know, but see, I had to understand what Jesse say. His father would help start the chapter of the Black Panther in Denver, Colorado. So he was around at the time. So I cannot, we got to go by what Jesse said. So that's what it is.
But also too, I think what you're trying to say is this: there's a lack of consistency when it comes down to our movements. You had the UNIA, Marcus Garvey, and that should have kept it going. It shouldn't have stopped when Marcus Garvey got deported. There's a lot of movements that should have kept functioning, even though the founder of it was either killed or exiled. But there's always been this lack of consistency. I give you a perfect example: the boycott, it was the bus boycott that Dr. King had did. Was it Montgomery? Was it Montgomery boycott?
I think so.
Yeah, so that should have kept. I think that they shouldn't have stopped because they finally got rights to sit in front of the bus. I think that should have just kept going until that whole bus company got bankrupt, and where Black people could have just took it over, you know, and we could have been running that. But there's always been this lack of consistency, and to the point that either our movement, like our brother underwriter said, either the movement either dissolved or has been taken over, has been run by another race of people, by the same enemy that we was fighting against. So that was always, and I think that's what my gripe is the lack of consistency our people do. Because one minute we'll start something, we don't finish it. And yeah, so it got to the point with me, it's like I don't like the fact that every time we get something going, we don't stick to it. It don't be part of like our sacred culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's always like, even when you look at Huey Newton, he became a drug user. He became a drug user.
Yeah,
he was another person that was abusing people in the organization. He was beating on women too. He will beat up his own followers. So he became just as corrupt. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
He did not keep it going. He did not kept focused. He did not say, look, and you know, he did not keep up the fight. Yeah, and he got killed. I think he got killed in a bad drug deal.
Now, there are some people saying that's you saying. Also, I heard that he was trying to stop drugs from coming in that part of the community. and that's when he got shot up.
Mm-mm.
I'm just going by what people saying now.
I mean, we talking about later on. We talking about later on.
Oh yeah, 89. That's the same year my late father passed. I remember.
We talking about, because at first, he was definitely trying to stop the drugs coming in and all that, but something went down, something detoured. I don't know what happened, and then a lot of people started leaving the Black Panther Party because the way how he was mistreating people. So him himself, he gave up. He gave up, and he shouldn't have given up.
And I think Brother Ray, at that time, he left too. But he went. I think he went back went to school, and I think he became a professor of University of Pennsylvania.
A lot of them did. A lot of them became professors.
Yeah, and so, and that's the thing about it, that the black. I think what pains me, I forgot. I gotta say this. And bro, Jesse, you understand what I'm saying, because you from the history. What pains me, as I talk to brother Guy, and I tell people, no, my political beliefs is from the Black Panther Party, Africa, all stuff, self-sufficient and stuff. And by me, and this, y'all gonna hear it the first time that I had to say this. It was paying me to see how the Black Panther went down. Yeah, they self-destruct. Let me say that because we cannot let the system get off the hook now. Can't. I know people gonna like, you can't let them get off the hook, but the system gave them this, and the Black Panther took it. So instead of they became self-reliant, they become a dependent of the system. And little by little, they have been dissolved, going to the 70s, in the 70s, into the 80s. And there was no more, nothing but just nothing just like an agency. And by me seeing that, in the 80s, you have to understand, 14 years before that, that's my political, they let me know my political belief. They tap in of the African in me. You know what I'm saying? They tap in of the revolutionary in me. So I always gonna say the Black Panther Party. The brothers and the sisters. But to see they dissolve this stuff, and how things went down, who we knew and other ones, and I got to get this out, because we're gonna get back to Eldridge Cleaver, and why we should learn from that. It hurt. It be at times I be in the corner crying. Why you let the system? You talk about, you battle against the system since your form in '66 when I was born. Why are you letting them do that? You know what I mean? And it hurted. I'm talking personally. This is the first time, man. It hurts.
Right.
I'm emotional now, because you have to understand what it means to me when they stand up against these people, this wicked system, and at the same time, I'm on right now. And why they have to battle even the ones that looks like us that within the system. And those are the same ones that brought them down. So at me as a teenager, knowing what's going on, and right, Jesse, it hurts like hell. It hurts. And people are, it ain't funny. It ain't funny to me. Because it put us back over almost 20, 30 years.
It sure did. Sure did.
And I'm going to tell you like this. Do you think, everybody said, do you think I was going to be a Black Panther Party? Not here. And also, So we got to understand they also have chapters. We also have chapters around the world, and they suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So now it was not just a United States thing. It was a global. It was a global attack. And me seeing it, what's going on, it hurt. But
You know what? I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Let me get it. That's all right. I'm gonna get this out. But the ones who stood up, I understand they left. I can't fault them to left. You ain't protecting me. You ain't protecting our people. You get on drugs, or you know you really. What I got a gun in my spine, fighting these pigs off me. Seeing that, visually seeing that, it hurt.
Yeah.
You go ahead, bro.
Nah, I feel you. It's definitely a hurtful feeling because you look at these guys like heroes. You see what I'm saying? Like we was talking about. It's funny, we was talking about Nelson Mandela. You know, he was another hero, and then he came out, and next you know he's working with the enemy, and it's like, you know, it's a hurtful feeling where that the lack of inconsistency is like no longer there. When you mentioned about the Black Panther Party. They have done wonderful things. The Black Panther Party. They taught us to self-efficient. They taught us, you know, they have food programs for the kids, and
yes,
they have done amazing things. And they should have kept it that way. That should have been part of our culture. But why do we give up so fast? Why do we just said the hell with it? And next thing you know it, we tend to be the same. We end up being like the person who's been oppressing us. And I don't know why, because it's one thing if we have heard that Newton P. Newton got assassinated, like Fred Hampton, but it didn't go like that. You know what I'm saying? What happened to Fred Hampton was really messed up. Now I don't know what would happen to him later if the government did not murder that man, but we don't know how he would end up turning out. But we know that. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna cut you. I really think one way or the other he would have been dead.
Yeah.
Or he had to go. He had to go exile somewhere. That's what I think. Because you got to think about Fred Hampton passed away. He was young. He was only 21 years old.
Yeah, that's true. He was a kid.
He was good, right? But he had a bigger responsibility not just in Chicago, the Black Panther Party, but the whole Black Panther Party. And so again, self-emotion kills the movement. Some black man and some black woman in the past, that's why we cannot get ahead. Self-emotion kills the movement.
Right.
And when we gonna understand that? Because even our scholars in the past has tell us that too. And we didn't want to listen to that. Be careful how you act. The late great Dr. Neely Fuller had give us the blueprint for it. He gave us the blueprint.
That's right. That's right. No, you're right. I mean, it's like, you know, we you know, emotions can really play a part, and sometimes it can lead to self-destruction. You know, lead us doing drugs, and lead us doing heinous crimes, and it lead us, you know, like you say, it just ruins everything, and we see it time and time again. We see it time and time again, and next thing you know, it's been taken over. If you look at, and I was wanting to bring this up, if you look at the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan, they've been very consistent They've been very consistent with what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These guys been around. They outlived. I mean, even though they've been around before the Black Panther Party, but they even outlived the Black Panther Party too. You know what I'm saying?
They still operate today.
They still operate today. So what is that? What is that saying?
And that is a hate. That is a hate.
That's a real hate group. Yes.
Globally.
Yes.
You still got many chapters of different aspects of life.
So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? And that should tell you that they are on code. They are on code.
Yeah.
We never on code. We'll start doing the things, and then next thing you know it, we back to square one again. Look at the Nation of Islam. I like to use them as a great example. They had good intentions. It was really supposed to be more of a political movement than a religious movement. But what happened was Elijah Muhammad started making money, and he started living like he thought he wanted to live like white folks. And he told Malcolm, "No, we don't want to fight against the police no more. Let's just keep talking about, Allah and the white man's the devil. We just keep saying that because he was making money." And a lot of the times we get thrown off guard. We get thrown off because not even our egos, but sometimes money will corrupt us as well. So when we start making money, or we start thinking that we're like bigger than life, we'll start forgetting the main goal, the end goal. We'll forget the end goal. And that's the problem. So that all plays the part too. Because like I said, that's all part of the emotions too. Because when your ego is a part of emotion. Your love for money is part of emotions.
Yeah. And let me tell you this, brother. You talk about this throughout the years of the Nation is and something. I gotta bring this stuff and everything. Look what happened to Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Look what happened to the Malcolm X. And everything what Malcolm X was saying, he found it was right years later. And listen, do I respect Nation and what they do? Yes. But we have to tell the truth what it is. When Muhammad Ali finally got his license back in 1970, I want people to understand what I'm saying. I want you to connect the dots. When Muhammad Ali, when they threw him out because of something that he didn't do, he still was practicing being a Muslim.
Right.
They threw them out. So people say, "Oh, he shouldn't do that." He got to make money for his family.
Yep.
Because he had a growing family, but at the same time, he's still fighting for our people. But we have to understand the Nation of Islam did not have his back until he got his license back in 1970 when he fought in Georgia in 1970, the same year, Jerry Quarley. That's when they want to come rush back. If you read, no doubt, Muhammad Ali, rest in peace, Muhammad Ali, yes. And so we have to understand it too. When he told me, he said, we can get such and such. But he said, I don't know why you come back. I never stopped practice Muslim. And and that's when he knew that what Malcolm X was saying was correct.
Right.
And so the thing is, they don't want to tell that story.
No, they don't.
They don't even want to tell a story about Malcolm X. And so my thing is this, like that's what I say. If you ever talk to Louis Farrakhan, what you I say, all right, if you say your brother Malcolm the same thing, why you didn't support Dr. Betty Shabazz of her losses in the case?
Facts.
What happened to you? You said that you gonna take a nation. You was ahead of Nation of Islam back in the early 70s, but after the mid 70s, you disappeared. What happened? I wait. But you know what they would say? Underrated, you don't know what you're talking about. Do your own due diligence and go and check it out and check it out. It's in public.
Yeah. It's
in
open.
public.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he reappeared back in the early 1980s.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
While at the same time, Dr. Betty Shabazz still struggling. Got to do it like she was going to school.
And still fighting for her husband's justice.
And still fight for her husband's legacy. And plus us as a people.
Mm-hmm.
But we gotta say that, brother.
Yep. Facts. You're right. Still fighting for us. Yep. That's so true. And you know, like I said, it's like when you have, that's what I'm saying, the being consistent is, we got to be consistent. We cannot allow emotions, you know, take over, because it just ruins the it just ruins the whole purpose of our goal. You know what I'm saying? It just throws off guard. You know, even now, you okay? On the right, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I mean, even now, like even now, even when we get on YouTube, right? Like, you got black people, they don't want to be African. You know, I'm not African, I'm Native Indian. You know, this fake Native Indian movement, and it's like, how can you gonna be Native Indian, but you want reparations just being Native Indian?
Right.
Native Indians already got reparations. So what do you want to be Native Indian for when they already got reparations? We talk about the African Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? And again, that was always been the movement ever since our ancestors. When you start talking about the great scholars, they've been always talking about the African Holocaust. You know, they've been proven about the slave ships.
Right.
You know, you had people come out saying it, like Cujo Lewis, who was on the slave ship, the last slave ship, and they found the remains on that, and he told this story. You know what I'm saying? And that should have been the movement. And we're not even talking about now. Then after that, there's the Jim Crow laws, where a lot of people was getting lynched, 100 years of lynching. You know, a lot of African people were getting killed under this government. So, but then there's a shift in 2016 where they don't want to be African no more. They want to be something else. You know, you hear, oh, I'm indigenous, I'm Aboriginal. And it's like, wait a minute, you're a black man. You're a black woman. What are you talking about? You know? And we was already here and all this other stuff. So again, the emotions where they want to detour of what we're trying to do. So now when reparations come up, because reparations really dealing with the African Holocaust, nothing more, nothing less. But so when you're talking about you Aboriginal, guess what? They don't have to give you anything. They don't have to give you anything. Only thing you want to do is get on some crappy reservation somewhere. A place that they can't even grow. They can't even grow food on that land. They can't even grow no fruits and vegetables. If you look at how the Native Indian live, you're gonna be like, I don't want to live like that. But because people are so, they have this inferior complex, or they feel defeated, which is another emotional. when they feel defeated, well, I don't want to be African no more. I want to be something else. And that's another way of, again, lack of consistency. So it
is. Right. No.
So yeah, so we got to look at all angles of this whole thing, underrated. You know, the identity crisis, the detour of the movement. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot that you know, even when it comes down to our music, you see what I'm saying? It's corrupting us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, right.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read this. Jay says, not a fake movement. We didn't get reparations. Where are the slave ships? African people were allowed over here in a large number until 1965. I know I had indigenous linguists. I'm Blackfoot. Nah, we built this country. FBA, those freedmen. I disagree.
See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And also, let me make this point too. There is once upon a time that the Indians had enslaved us as a people.
Yep, the 5 tribes. They don't want to talk about that. I will be
talking about it. I've been talking about it for years. And all you have to do go. I tell people go to Dr. Clark Anderson. He's been top of it for almost 60 years.
Yep.
They enslaved us. They won't even get citizenship.
Only thing I gotta do is get the book, Red Masters and Black Slaves. Get the book. There's a book called Red Masters and Black Slaves.
And also, we always heard about the treaty of 1865 when the Indians turned against us. But there are other treaties even back then that Dr. Clark Anderson that lead up to 1865. Go to Dr. Clark Anderson. I done it on this channel years ago. And you know, again, we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Nope.
They enslaved us. Matter of fact, they don't want to help create the $5 Indians. With the Dixie crash back in the during the late 1920s when the Dixie crash was formed.
Right. Right.
The $5 Indians with them was created with the Dixie crash. Look it up, people. Underrated units. Look it up.
But that's the thing. That's another thing too. A lot of people don't do scholarship work. They're regurgitating what their grandma say. Well, my grandma said we was Native Indian. Your grandmother was a self-hating. She had to try to pass the paper bag test. Because I even said that in my program. If any Negro keeps saying that, I would disrespect their grandma. Don't come at me with that nonsense. Because I know what our people went through, and they had to go through hell just to make it. Just to make it. The paper bag test. They thought black people, if you were dark skinned, they thought black folks, if you were dark skinned, they thought you were stupid and dumb. And if you were lighter, they thought you were. This is the lie they would tell us. And our people fell for that dumb shit. Excuse my language. This is what pissed me off. So now you got new generation now. I'm Indian. I'm this. I don't even know the FBA. This FBA started with some Tariq Nasheed crap, who's married to a half white, who got white people living with him. He's not even with a black woman. Tariq Nasheed is not even with a black woman. He's not even with a so-called FBA woman.
I'm gonna throw one that's at you. Minister Farrakhan, right? Is his son mess with a white woman?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. There's a
oh,
picture.
oh, oh, oh.
There's a picture with him with the mother-in-law. And why they so he has a biracial grandbaby. Yes.
But this is the same one that we need to stay away from white people, right?
This is the same person. That's what I'm saying. The consistency. The consistency.
But also, this is the same one said that we hurting each other. And you talk about gang bang and stuff, we hurting our people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's the same one. I want you to work with me. And we talking about emotional people, right? I want you to work with me, right? Tell me I'm right or wrong. No, brother God NollyWood. And the other, excuse me, and others in the chat, right? You're the same one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they looking at him like, why? How you can tell us what to do? And you deal with you deal with the enemy. And I want to know how you getting all this money throughout the year. Y'all still the Nation of Islam. Why the money is not going outward to our people?
Yep.
If you say you go out liberate our people, right? Why y'all gotta have your own? Y'all don't want to spend. Only time you want to spend when you sell your newspaper.
I want to ask Jesse. We can kill all that noise. Show me a DNA test that you're Blackfoot. We can kill that noise right there. Because I'm sick and tired of these black people keep saying, well, I'm Indian and Blackfoot. Show me a DNA, because that's what I go by. I go by DNA records. I like science. Show me a DNA record that you're Blackfoot. That we can kill all that. We can kill all that. If you can't show it to me, I don't believe it. You can say what you want. See, that's what I'm saying about emotions. Show me records. I need proof. I don't go by what somebody say. I don't go by no hearsay. When you go to that white man's court, I bet you're going to show some records, right? When that white man say, show me some proof and evidence of what the hell are you talking about? Oh, you're going to show him records. You're going to show him documentations. But when a black man like myself, no, you got to show me proof. Oh, I don't need to show you nothing. Who are you? This is what I get. This is what I get underrated. I'm not important enough so you could, I'm not important enough so people could show me records of what the hell they talking about. I need proof. See, there you have it. Show me records. I got proof. I got evidence. I got evidence. I did my DNA. Show me your DNA. And we could end that. But this is what I get, underrated. This is exactly what I get.
But understand this, bro. Let's try as men to respect each other. But one way or the other, we still in the same flight. But let's find out the truth and work together. That's what I want. That's what I want to see tonight. Okay.
Right. No, I'm good. But I'm just saying where I stand on certain things. So I'm just saying, like, no, I agree with you. But when we talking about emotions, this is what I get. Instead of saying, okay, let me show you the evidence, what, you know, let me back you up what I told you.
Come on, Jesse. Jesse, let's show some respect. Each of us call for the same path, same flight, but same path, but different path, but same flight. Come on, let's show some respect. Come on now. Let's God now will show some respect. Come on, Jesse, show some respect too. Come on, gotta be fair, bro. You know me. I'm out for our people. But let's stay with our emotions here. Come on now. Y'all work with me. I respect what you do. I respect what brother God name what you do. Come on now. Let's show some respect. Let's show, despite our differences, that we walk in that we hold the same drum. Because this is very important here, because we have to learn how to control our emotions. It goes for me too. We got to learn to control our self-emotions for the betterment of our people. And I urge us to do that, and including black women too. Y'all not out of this either. I know I stand, Jesse. I get it, because you stand strong. Y'all two strong black men. You know what I mean?
Nah, but that's not my people, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm sorry, Underrated, but this is, I mean, it's sad to say, but when somebody say that I'm a different person, I'm not African, I'm something else, then we have no relations. We have no relations. I'm not talking to people like Jesse. I'm talking only for African people. And I hate to say it, I don't know Jesse, but he have to understand that I'm only talking to African people. I'm not talking about no Aboriginals. I don't have no connection with Aboriginal. I have no connection with Indians. I have no connection with them. So that's my platform, is with African people, whether you're American.
I respect that.
No,
okay.
Hear me out. I'm Pan-African. Pan-African means I'm an African man of abroad. That's it. You just like you got Pan-Europeans, you got Pan-Asians, and they even say, I'm Pan-Asian, I'm Pan-European. So when somebody say Pan-Africanism is dead, prove it to me, show me. Because I still rock my RBG to the day I die. Okay? Because when somebody's telling me that they're not African, that means they're not loyal, right? That means they could just say, well, again, we talking about consistency, right? You claim that you love your people, but it's okay to marry a woman outside your race. I don't see none of these black people that claim that they're Indian and they marrying their wife is Indian or East Indian, right? So what I'm saying is that I'm an African man, and my loyalty is with African people, which are which is black people. They call African what? The black lands, right? They call it Kemet, ancient Kemet, the black land, because that's where black people originated from, right? So that's the only thing that I'm concerned about. So again, I'm trying to stay consistent. So if anybody's not on board with me, if they want to say,
no, go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I'm consistent of what I say. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I got the records, brother. Underrated. I could show you evidence, and you could be my backup. I could show you. I got documents. I know who I am.
Okay. Let me say this, Charles Rain. All right, Jesse. I understand what you're saying. All right, but I know this much that oh, shout out to my brother Jake Gibb in the building. That's my brother right there, Charles Ray. I want you to go check out my brother Charles Ray. Great stuff for you on there too. But let me say, I'm gonna put this on right here because I want people to understand what I'm saying. My origin is from Africa. Like I said, us. It's from Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that. We have to be real careful who we're in alliance with. And I want people to understand this. We get over emotional and they were saying that we not this and we not that. We have to understand I'm African.
That's right.
I'm people of African descent. There's no ifs or buts about it. I stand on it. I die with it. I'm an original African. I'm a part of origin. I'm a part of African descent. Now, people want to talk about you got blood in this, blood, okay, wherever, wherever. I know right here. I know right here. I'm African descent.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that, because sometimes we, again, self-emotional, we get into it, that sometimes we tend to forget the roots.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And maybe we agree or disagree or whatever. But we have to find a conclusion that we come from Africa.
That's right.
We have to understand that, and like people say, I'm Indian. How you can say you Indian? They enslave us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I gotta say that. How could you say that from a certain tribe they enslave us? It's in the books.
That's right.
This in public. In New York, they enslave us in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Go in some parts of Long Island.
New York, remember New York, remember the Bronx Zoo used to be a human zoo. Remember that? And they used to take African people over there and put them in a human zoo.
New York got a very ugly
They didn't have Native Indians. They didn't have black people that Native Indians locked up in human zoos. They had African people there. The only thing I do is look it up. Underrated.
I don't know, man. But but it's a very, people talk about New York. New York got a very ugly history how they enslave us.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it deals with finance.
That's right.
The New York Stock Exchange. We was enslaved there, people. Just for me.
So wait a minute. So the slave auctions was fake. I mean, the slave posters, that like the auction posters was fake too. When they actually said where they got the people from, they kept all that.
Yeah, Jay Gabe, you right.
This who someone said, oh, salute Jay. Hotep, salute to Jay. So the slave posters, you can Google that, and they'll tell you where those African people that came from. Now, if you look at the slave cargo ships, they only can fit maybe close to 150 to close to 200 people in there. Not as far as what you see as far as the was with that famous photo where they put like 1 million people in there. Of course not. They only could put like maybe 150 because those cargo ships were pretty big. So I'm saying, so they tell you how many numbers that's on those ships.
I'm just saying that
I don't get it. It's just
my thing is this: that it's not knocking nobody and everything. We got to go back to our scholars in the past. They were giving us the truth.
Right.
It's right there.
They did the field work.
Some of them lived it. They even had grandparents and mothers lived it.
Yes.
And we don't go back to our scholars. This is what I'm saying, family. Understand what I'm saying. I understand you're trying to find our own identity. I get it. The system had taken away. I get it. But what I'm saying is this. And I want people to understand what I'm saying is this. What I learned from the Black Panther Party is not just political. They teach me how to search for the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To go and do whatever you can to search for the truth. You just cannot go by what it says. I get what you're saying, Jesse. I get it. I respect that. But we have to understand one thing, that we came here against our will. And we have to understand that that our people in the past, the famous and not so famous slaves, had paid the price. And let's understand this here though too. Do you know that Alabama was still in slavery until the early 70s when they finally abolished? That was not too long ago, family. That's less than 60 years ago, family. So understand what I'm saying is this, that we want to be so bad to be different. I get it, again. But to have we gotta see things for what it is.
That's right.
We from Africa, people. I understand the blood and all that, and I'm saying like people say, "Oh, I'm this and I'm that and everything," but at the same time, you in a certain tribe that enslaved us. But you want to keep on claiming it. Why you want to claim something that enslaved us? Why you want to claim something that people, they say, why we keep on doing this? This is what I'm talking about, self-emotional. And then sometimes we get self-emotional, it cloud up our mindset. It cloud up whatever manifestation that we need, healthy manifestation, cultural manifestation that we need. That our scholars they always telling us. And the sad thing about it, and I'm getting emotional, but I'm trying to hold it real and trust.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Just hold it, brother.
I'm trying.
I know.
I don't want to. I don't. But that's a problem. The truth is, no, we want to close it because we want to feel what we feel. And I'm tired of it, yo. I'm saying that we ain't no we some of us ain't no different than system.
That's right.
If I'm wrong, I prove I'm wrong. But you know what? They show me the right. And I appreciate with that. When are we going to sit down and say, you know what, I believe what you believe, and I believe what you believe, but at the same time, the liberation of our people is important. That's supposed to be the bigger picture, right?
That's right.
When they put them slugs in your goddamn back, it goes to anybody, and they put them slugs behind your goddamn back, right? What you going to say then? Or they put that gun in another black man, black woman back. What you going to say? I ain't going to deal with them because they such and such? Am I an African or what? Am I a black man or black woman come from the origin of Africa? Am I?
And let me say this, brother. I want to address this, Jesse.
I'm getting tired. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. When are we going to? We have examples in the past. Have people look like us? Have played us?
That's right.
I am tired of it. When are we going to say? Hell, you know what I'm saying? We gonna put this right here, Yo, you touch our black man or our black woman, you getting this business.
That's right.
Despite I disagree, whatever it is, you get that business. Because you know why? Because the white supremacy, they disagree with everything, but they stay. Look what happened. That's all I'm saying. But number one grind don't know what I'm talking about. You go and talk, bro. Go and talk.
Let's keep
y'all go and talk in the chat. Engage in the chat too, y'all. I want y'all.
Let's keep it 100, right? The Black Panther Party did not start it, and I want to give a big thanks to Brother Bakari. He schooled me, educated me on this. The Black Panther Party did not start it with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. It started with Stockley Carmichael. He the one who created the Black Panther Party, right, in the South, and I believe it was in Georgia. So that's created by him. And he was the one who came up with Black Power. He was the one who came up with African pride. Okay. This is the reason why Stan Lee took the idea of the Black Panther and made a comic book out of it, and he dedicated to Africa. That's where he got it from. So Stokely Carmichael saying that, hey, no, we African people, because the word black and African are the same.
Right. Nothing taken away from Bobby Seals and Seals and Huey Newton, but we have to understand how the system is back then. We got Stokely Carmichael was you think about it. He was a head of snake got thrown out because he fight for African people. But we have to understand they're not going to put Stokely Carmichael on the front of the desk. They figured
Stokely Carmichael was he was the man. That was
right. So they figured they put them in the front when I'm showing the background.
Yes.
But it backfired the system because they stand what they stand. So we got to give them credit too.
Of course, definitely. I'm not
right, but do you right about Stokely Carmichael? And also, did this USA make him exiled to Africa, and he stayed in Africa because even our people let it happen like that? But see, I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Am I correct, brother? I could be wrong.
No, you're correct. You're on point. And I wanted to address something here real quick. I'm going to address something real quick, something that Jesse has said. He said, Pan-Africanists always telling us to go to Africa, but many have never been. I never pushed that. I never pushed that all black people. Even Marcus Garvey, Marcus Garvey never said all black people. He said there's black people are no good here. He said they are no good here, and there will be no good in Mother Africa. We don't want people with identity crisis in Africa. We don't want that. We don't want that. Even the great honorable, I'm gonna use that because I think he's more honorable than Elijah Muhammad. The honorable Malcolm X said, if you can't go to Africa, just be African culturally. He said we need to be culturally connected. If you look at everything that we do is African. Our dances is African. The food that we eat is African. The way we braid our hair, dreadlocks, waves, everything that we do is African people. That didn't come from Native Indians. Show me proof and evidence. You have, and I underrated, there's an African town. Our people did not lose themselves. There's an African town in Georgia that still exists. There's a little Africa in South Carolina.
Yeah.
There's a Congo Square. You have Times Square, right? You ever heard of Times Square?
Yeah.
There's a Congo Square in Louisiana. So our people knew it's already putting their mark and let them know that we are African people. Okay? The brother who created the traffic light, right? The brother who created the traffic light, he put the colors red, green, and yellow. That's Ethiopian colors. He's letting you know, yo, I'm African. Yo, it's in your face. So I don't know who these people are saying they're not. Maybe they're not African. Maybe Jesse's not African. But I'm just letting him know I don't have nothing against him. But my message is not for him. That's all I'm saying. My message is for African people. And I'm not putting a brother down or whatever like that. I respect him, but I'm just saying if you're not African, then my message is not for you. And that's just the bottom line. Because we can't, if you want to be allies and you want to help us, that's fine. But as far as you saying that, as far as you telling me what I am, that's disrespectful. And I never told Jesse, oh, you're African. I never said that. You said that you Blackfoot, you're Indian or whatever, fine, good. Then go to those people and try to get your land back. I don't see none, and that's another thing underrated. I see a lot black people, there's this Aboriginal movement or whatever you want to call it. Ain't none of them saying, we want our country back. We trying to get this whole country called North America, we want it back. And of course, the laws ain't working. So what is the next thing you do? You have to go to war. I don't want this country. My job is to take whatever resources to build the continent up. That's the thing. And it doesn't matter if it's Liberia, it doesn't matter if it's Ghana. I support that. And yes, have I been to Africa? No. But I know my roots and I know where I fit in. That's important to me. I know I'm African. So I'm not gonna go back and forth with people. If they don't want to be defined, okay. But I know my message is for African people. And like I said, I gotta stay focused. Because I've been down that road. I've been down that road of arguing with people, going back and forth. And like you said, emotions come into play. Next you know, we threatening each other. Next you know, I'm not trying to do that. Then I'll say, to make it easy for both of us, you go your way and I go my way. You claim you Blackfoot? Okay, go to people who claim they Blackfoot and organize with them. Me and underrated, we're saying that we're African people.
Amen.
And we only direct our energy to African people, and we got to stay focused on that. We can't detour. We can't allow people to try to take us off the track. And this is what a lot of our greats have done. They have been, they've been, even when you look at brother Malcolm, how he couldn't do his mission because of the threats, the bombing of his house. I mean, they were trying to kill this man ever since he left the organization. And the only thing he's trying to do is trying to help us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's really messed up. And then when I hear a story, that shit pisses me off. Like, how come they just couldn't leave that man alone? No telling what we could have been if they would have just left Malcolm alone.
But you know what's so sad about this? And Jesse, I understand what you're saying. Just listen to me, Jesse, and listen to me, God. Now I want people to listen to me. I'm gathering my thoughts because it's my channel. I can say what I want, but I'm saying this out of respect. I'm saying this out of truth. I'm saying it of my late parents. I'm saying it at people that older than me. And I'm saying it that our late scholars has said. When are we going to be on the same playing foot? Jesse, listen to me well. It goes from Brother God, NollyWood, everybody in the chat. Listen to me well. I'm talking as a 59-year-old just made it 59. Let's just pass Wednesday. So understand what I'm saying, please. When are we going to stay on the same playing field? When are we going to respect each other, despite our differences? When are we going to learn to control our self-emotion? And I'm talking self-emotion. I'm talking about writing. I'm talking about comprehend. I'm talking about all this is going on. Well, I get it. I get it, Jesse. You're right. I get it. But listen what I'm saying, bro. Please. Y'all want people. Goes a guy 91 too. Listen. I'm willing to put whatever I feel of Africa. I'm talking as a black man that comes from slaves, that came in this country, that came in a certain place that I was supposed to belong. Yes, please. Listen. When are we gonna do that? You can believe whatever you believe, but it's hurt. Understand it's hurting us, y'all. And I'm willing to build with you, Jesse. I'm willing to build with you, God. NollyWood. I'm willing to build, but we have to understand. Everybody in the race had got certain part of reparations except us over our back. Do you understand that? Wherever y'all claim this stuff, right? One way or the other, they got reparations. You think they're gonna give it to y'all? Understand what I'm saying, y'all. He talking about Stokey Carmichael, and look at these two brothers, the three brothers. Look, I want you to look. Stokey, the late great Stokey Carmichael, Kwame, he passed away in the 90s, I believe. But they paid the price. And the other ones paid the price. Do they even get respect? They even disagree to other Africans. Look what happened to Willie Mandela. I mean, well, not Willie, but I'm sorry. Nelson Mandela. And look what happened when he came out. He want to be with the same, and I know people going to get mad at this, but this is true, it's true. He want to be with the same ones that oppressed him. They force him to get rid of Willie Mandela. She was fighting for us as a people. Because she understands the black man flight, not just in Africa, but around the world. And even there are some men, there are some women, there are black women fail to understand that too. Want to give the black man a hard time and all like that, but you're talking to you're talking to the enemy at the job and other places. So we have to understand: are we still going to talk in enemy's narrative, or are we going to be like, listen, no matter what happened, I got to stand with that black man, a black woman, because they come from where I come from. Because our slaves, as I said before, our slaves that was famous and not so famous, they paid the price. I want you to go to Dr. Clark and say, listen to him. How he break down this country. Go to Dr. Crescent, Dr. Francis Crescent. She wrote about the ISIS paper. Talk about the psychologically of white supremacy back in 1969, 1970. Dr. Henry Clark had break down the spiritual of white supremacy and all that. Here, this man will read thousands of books. Even when he came blind back in the early 1990s, he passed away in the mid 1990s. He broke it down how the system is global. And others. And the sad thing about it, we still do not want to heed on. They gave us the blueprint, how they act, and even women scholars in the past that looks like us gave us the blueprint. And I'm letting we emphasize here, late great Dr. Neely Fuller tell us how to act within white supremacy. How to deal with it. How do we act as a family? Gotcha, Jesse. Gotcha. But again, self-emotional has to reappear. I am right. What you say is wrong. I don't care how you feel. And it's sad. We still don't learn. Still don't learn.
That's right.
You still don't learn. We still, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong too. Don't get me wrong. But I want to be corrected as it's true. And that's what I coin eternal learning. Eternal learning is not, oh, I just gotta learn, and it's degrees. No, you gotta keep on learning for the truth. That's why I call it eternal learning. Keep on learning about the truth. Let the truth live in you and move on that truth. It's a marathon, not a 50-yard dash. I stand to be corrected because I'm part of that eternal learning. And it never stops. But it seems like some of us let that eternal learning, we just going to stop. We want to believe what we want to believe. We want to say, we have to say, and sometimes it's not. Because, I have to learn that when I got older, y'all. I'm from experience. The OGs and women back have to like, yo, no, that's not the way you think it. That's not, let me show you the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have to be corrected. So I'm talking of them correcting me. And we still, some black men and some black women, we want to be self-righteous. And part of self-righteous and being self-emotional. And the sad thing about it, we still don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because we could miss out working with that prominent black man or prominent black woman. And say, okay, I get what you say. Because sometimes I could tell this brother right here, we disagree. Not a lot of stuff, because a lot of stuff we do believe in, but a little stuff, but at the same time, that's my brother.
That's right.
Tell me how that's my brother. I don't care whatever I believe. That's my brother. We dumping out. That's my sister. We dumping out. Because they go for your black women too. Because wherever black women that stick of our people, some of your women don't even want to support each other. Just like we got sister wives right here. Some sister, y'all women don't even want to support her. I said it. I want you to think about that tonight, y'all. And it goes for me too. When are we gonna learn from the late great Eldridge Cleaver? When are we gonna learn from that? Because what he had done, he helped sabotage the Black Panther movement that had a ripple effect almost 14, 15 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to understand that of his self-emotional. He caused the killing of the late great Bobby Hutton. And we can't, and I know some of you it's a touchy moment, but that is true. He did cause that. And I go one thing better. Forget Bobby Hutton. Why you didn't take the bullet, Eldridge Cleaver? I know you died. Why you didn't take the bullet? Why you had that young man take the bullet? Get the slug. Why you couldn't take the slugs? You older than him. Yeah, he's dead right now. I'm just saying. That pissed me off throughout the years. Why you didn't take the slug, Eldridge? So understand again, he lucky the Black Panther Party didn't out him right then and there. But then I gotta take your isolated place. You on your own. So of that part, the Black Panther Party, you know what? I respect them for that. And again, we don't follow we don't see that. So what we have to understand, and there are people not in alignment. What we trying to do, we gotta isolate them. You gotta go in isolation somewhere. You cannot come back here. No, you're not. No, because you want to be self-preserved for yourself.
That's right.
Not for our people. So you got to go. Black man and black woman, y'all got to go. And that's the mindset that each of us should have. If you're not part of the liberation of our people, the struggle of our people, and respect the ones that pay the price, you got to go. Simple as that. We got to put you in isolation somewhere so you can find your way. Brother, now let's make your last remarks and stay right there. Make my last, and we're gonna close as a fan. That's it for the night.
Man, this has been a great topic. I think you hit a lot of good points, man. And like I said, like emotions go in different directions. And we just gotta, like I said, I think we gotta, and I think the main goal is to stay focused and to stay consistent. And I've always been, I think with the Eldridge Cleaver, I think that was a good example of somebody who wasn't on code. And we have to stay consistent. Like I said, I'm not here to please everybody. I know what I am. I know what my goal is, and I know what I do. Because I'm about nation building. And I want to see my people, gain power. That's what I believe. I'm definitely a student of Marcus Messiah Garvey. And that's what I'm a roll with. And I'm not taking anything away from other people. I mean, I love Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a Garveyite. Even Khalid Muhammad was a Garveyite. They were Pan-Africans. So this is who I roll with. We've seen Khalid Muhammad rock the red, black, and green. Okay, so those are Garvey colors. So I'm going to roll what my ancestors had schooled me. I'm going to roll what I know that who I am and what I know I come from. So I won't never, I will never listen to anybody who was born yesterday. You have many scholars. Even our answer, even Malcolm X himself said that. What did he say? Underrated. He said, "We're not Americans." He said, "We African people that were brought to America." He said this, and you can't run away from that. It doesn't matter. So if you're going to say you disagree with Malcolm X, then you're somebody else. Then this channel is not for you. This platform is not for you. This message is not for you. Because I know what my message. I'm because everybody caters to their people. I want to cater to my people. You go to underrated. I've seen many platforms where you have white folks. They talk about their white stuff and they're nationalist stuff. You know, Asians, they talk about their, you know, you got yellow folks with the Asians, they talk about their nationalism. But when it comes down to us, we can't do that. We so mixed up. It's always a fight. It's always a disagreement. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be best to stick with it like minds, and that's my way to stay focused. As long we look, like my brother said, we're not gonna agree on everything, but I'm willing to work with him because we fighting the same fight. We are fighting the same fight.
But we don't disagree a lot, though.
No, even you, Brother Bakari, and all the other brothers and sisters, we're gonna have disagreements. It's just life. But the bottom line is we gotta stay consistent. And if you say, look, brother, I think we need to do this, okay, I'll be like, okay, fine, we'll roll with that. But if that don't work, we gotta do it my way. And I think that would be a better, you know, that's how we work together. We gotta have a plan A, plan B. So I just think that we gotta learn how to work together. We gotta learn how to work together and realize and keep our what they say, keep our eyes on the prize. You got Dr. King. He said that we came from you. You listen to Dr. King. He said that we came from Africa. You know what I'm saying? They got videos of him saying we was brought over here, and he talks about this. He went to Africa. He went to Ghana. You
and
never
also
heard, you let me say this on the radio. I'm done. You never heard. Matter of fact, I would put this to the test. You never heard any of our ancestors say that we were Native Indians or we were something else. You never heard no Native. You never heard no one scholar. No, you never heard Harriet Tubman. You never heard Nat Turner. All the things that all the people that Black people love. You never heard them say, "I'm Blackfoot" or "I'm Cherokee," because they know these people took part of slavery. They know that. And they're not claiming that. They never claim that. Now, we have grandparents that lived through Jim Crow, we have great-great-grandparents that lived through during the Great Depression and during the Jim Crow era that was probably traumatized, and they didn't want to be African. They didn't want to be Black. That's real life. That's real. There's been many situations you couldn't say, "Hey, what's up, Black man?" You would get into a fight. So when you got somebody like Marcus Garvey said, "No, it's cool. It's cool to be Black. It's cool to be African." Then everybody's like, "Yeah, it is cool." Because before him, people didn't want to be that. They didn't because of the system. And we got to know the core of the problem. But if people want to stick to that nonsense, then I gotta say, just like Chuck D said, every brother is not a brother. And I take it further, every sister ain't a sister. So I do believe in that. Even Marcus Garvey said we have black enemies. Just keep it 100. But our goal is to stay focused and just stay away from nonsense. And like I said, I agree with you. We got to check our emotions. We gotta, it's human nature. Yeah, we're gonna get angry. Yeah, we're gonna cry. Yes, we're gonna scream. And yes, because of frustration. Because of frustration. Now, when we talk about Eldridge Cleaver, do I agree what he did? No, I don't agree with it, but I can understand. Because he was frustrated and he was pissed and he wanted to do something now. He wanted to end it now. Just like let me just say this. When United States just want to end it all, they're going to take extreme measures. When you look what happened in World War II, how they used the atomic bomb, killed a lot of innocent people who didn't have nothing to do with the war. You know what I'm saying? In Hiroshima, a lot of people died. That was out of emotions. That was out of emotions. So when they say, no, we're going, you know what I'm saying? So it does happen. But we gotta, we just gotta really think, and we gotta organize, we gotta talk it out and see what's best. You know what I'm saying? And in certain cases, you got to take actions right there and there, and just whatever happens, happens. But if you could work it out and talk it out and say, look, this is the plan, X, Y, and Z. That's different. But it's not. But yeah, we just got to control our emotions, and we just can't jump in conclusions. If you disagree with somebody, okay, fine. But what is the goal? What do you, if you claim that you're part of me, what do you want to see us in? Do you want to see us in a better place? Or you're an ally, or you're the enemy? That's how I look at it. You could be black, but are you an enemy, or are you an ally? That's the number one. That's the question. So at this, I'm not going to even get into it, Jesse. I'm not going to get into it, Jesse. And like I said, when, they say ignorance is a bliss. But
no, you ain't have to see no. No. Go ahead. I'll let that.
So I won't even get into it, Jesse. But this has been a great. We got to continue this, because this has been a really, really, and I think we hit some nerve. Underrated. I think we hit a lot of nerve today.
There could be a part two, but
we gotta have a part two. We gotta have a part two.
Gotta be a part two, but I'm just saying. No, you go and finish.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna let my.
I want you to stay here when I say something.
I'm gonna let my plane. I'm gonna let my plane right here. I appreciate everybody in the chat.
I want you to stay right there, bro.
No. I'm not leaving. I'm landing my plane. So I appreciate everybody in the chat for being active and making your, and saying what's on your mind. That's cool. Okay, so, and Underrated, I thank you for having me. We got to do this again.
There's going to be a part two.
We got to have a part two, because this is important. And like I said, it's all about being consistent. And this goes with everything that we talked about as far as identity, your actions, even when it comes down of just to let you know who you are as a person, because whatever your DNA is shows you who you are. You know what I'm saying? And That's important. And I tell people, get your DNA test. You know what I'm saying? Go to African Ancestry, get your DNA test.
Oh, Jay Gibb, it's gonna be real soon. I
Yeah,
said it's gonna be like, if it don't be end of this month, it'll be next month.
Right.
I just got to talk to brother God NollyWood when it's a good time for him, because he's a family man and I want to respect that. And also I got other stuff that's coming up and everything. And we're gonna really plan the second part.
Yeah.
But okay. No,
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this real quick. That's it. But brother Underrated, you like, man, everything you said, you was on point, brother. I really enjoyed this program, man. It's been a powerful program. I'm definitely going to share this, after this over, because people need to really see this. But I think there's a lot of misconception, and a lot of people want to. A lot of people could be a distraction, and we can't. That's another thing too. Distractions can cause emotions. Distractions can cause emotions. And even when you have somebody in the chat, it could trigger me. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to, and I'm learning as well to stay focused, because I've been down that road. And I would say, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can pretend whatever you want to pretend, but don't include me into that. You know what I'm saying? I know what I am. And Underrated, he already made it perfectly clear who he is. And we are fighting for a cause. We are fighting for a purpose. And the fight continues. With that said, Underrated, thank you very much. And it's on you.
And let me say this, no, I want you to say this, and then you go mute your mic. Me and brother God NollyWood, when we talked earlier, we did disagree and talk about that you know more than me and I live long. I said no, right? Right, brother God NollyWood?
You're right. Facts.
And I disagree with him. I said no, because I felt that he got more at the table too, despite it been 10 years. But he understand. I did disagree with him, because I feel 10 years don't make a difference. But he had to let me understand, stand to be corrected. You live longer than me. You got a lot more to bring to the table that I need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But so he said, you have to understand that, brother Underrated. You got a whole lot to offer.
That's right.
So stop holding stuff back, because I told him on the phone. And there's a lot of stuff I ain't told throughout the years I want people to see my face. There's a whole lot I ain't bring up.
Mm.
The whole lot that I've been through, that I seen. But I don't bring it. I ain't talking about the one in the chat, but I know the space don't respect that. But he encouraged me. He said, no, we need to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
He's selfish. I want to hear it. So you do got to bring, you got a lot. So he understand this. I did disagree with the brother, but it doesn't take away that we in the same fight for our people.
That's right. That's right.
I disagree with the brother, but he make me understand my value. Now I want to hear more.
Mm-hmm.
You see how easy it is? And I said, yeah, you're right. And, you just said it right because he's right. Because I never had nobody challenge me. Not even challenge. I had nobody said, yo, we want to hear more from you. And it's good to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
To appreciate what you're going through. Appreciate of your presence. Appreciate your worth. Appreciate your experience.
That's right.
But now, I'm going to get ready to say what I want to say. Back and forth, and brother God NollyWood, he understands some brother, but you and Jay go back and forth. It's cool and everything, but we got to reach common ground. We losing, y'all. We losing. It goes to the black woman too. We losing. Because we was times we want to be right. When it's going to be the time? And I'm gonna talk to you, Jesse. Use you as an example, Jesse. When it's going, I'm gonna use you. I'm using you as an example, Jesse. So understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna use. I said, Jesse, yo, I understand it, but we in the same fight, brother. I'm not against you. I don't want you to be against me. We gotta make sure. We gotta make sure to ensure our people we for the fight, because there are people in the past has done it. Even disagreements. We move. But they think of the bigger picture, our people. No, I know that. And self emotion. It's got to stop. And I know we inherit sometimes from our family, but it's gotta be a change. What do you disagree me? What you disagree me about, Brother Jesse? No, I'm not against you. I'm just saying. Because I said that one thing, Brother God NollyWood too. Y'all said to anybody. I understand, but it has to be a way, y'all, that we gotta function, because white supremacy, and I'm not talking about white people, I'm talking about other races. They have a lot of disagreements. But you know what? To destroy the African family, they on board. They put that on the side.
That's right.
Understand what I'm saying? You know what I learned that from? Black Panther Party. And they was telling the truth. But from 71, when I learned about the Black Panther Party, up to the mid 80s, they had been destroyed of their own demise. Understand what I'm saying, yo? I witnessed it as a teenager, going to be a man. To think back what really happened back in the mid 80s was sick to my stomach. It was at times I had to cut school, play basketball to get my mind up, because the party right here is not prominent no more around the world. How the system, how piece by piece has broken up. And they broke up, man. And there are people that don't look like us. They were sad too, because they understand the oppression. Even they people, but the bigger oppression of us as African people around the world. And they kept on fighting until they was gone.
That's right.
And so we have to understand. And I see y'all saying in this. Yeah, I see what you're saying in the chat, and it's all good. I want you to listen what I'm saying, y'all. Those who got NollyWood to he know I talk about everybody. It's all good to be smart. It's always good to have. Yeah, I got information I believe in, all like that. But I'm just saying, when is going to be a time that we move as one? And the ones who do not want to move as one, like I said, they got to go. Young and old, they got to go.
They gotta go. That's right.
They got to go. They got to go. They paid the price with Stokely Carmichael. Other groups, and you know, we don't even talk about Vernon Johns. I talk about Vernon Johns on it. I did a story of Vernon Johns on this channel. You know what? And I'm talking about people. I ain't talking about the ones not y'all in the chat. I'm talking about the space. Y'all ain't even want to respect that. Vernon Johns, he was a Christian man, but he all about for his people.
That's right. Marcus Garvey was a Christian too.
He was a Christian too. And I'm gonna tell you, Vernon John died broke in 65. He was 75. But he would talk about economics, need the money stay with them. And you know, the Christianity had turned against him. So when we talking about the civil rights movement, they never talk defense. Yeah, he's the one spearhead that. Good point, Jesse. And you know what? And Vernon Johns, a lot of people, you know, in the civil rights movement, they ain't want Vernon Johns because he was revolutionary. He was starting trouble. But I understand where he comes from. Because, you know, I'm a big fan of Vernon Johns. Because he started the civil rights movement not in the 60s, but almost 40 years before that. But we don't mention him, or even the black women in before that too. So we did with me, do your history, because I did mine.
That's right.
I do mine. And by the help of Brother God NollyWood, I had to really I had to speak that truth. And I'm glad that brother reminded me and challenged me. Just like y'all in the chat. I'm not saying y'all had a part of it, but I'm talking about today on the phone. He challenged me. Brother, you need to teach more. And I don't know what you're doing. You need to teach more. So I got to get back teaching the truth. What I know. That I know is prevalent to our people.
That's right.
Oh, this is happening right here. We gotta stop this self-emotion. We gotta stop that. Because at the end of the day, when they put that slug in your head, what you gonna say then? Goes for black man or black woman.
That's right.
And sometimes some of our people that looks like us, they'll put a slug in our head too. Some black man, some black woman. So what you going to say to them? I believe they don't care. That serpent is dirty. That serpent comes in many ways, family. But you know, I already know what they're talking about. No, GRINDA, you don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. No doubt, Jesse, I really respect that. I know, like I said before, and I say it again, I'm not afraid of the system. I've never been afraid since the 71. I think when I came out of my mother's womb to my father's knapsack. All I'm just saying, it's good to be liberated. It is good to fight against the system. It is good. It is, you know, in your own way. But I'm just saying, like, that to get in the way of the bigger picture, I have a problem with that. The black man and the black woman, I got a big problem with that. And if you want to get in the way, wants to be right, want to be super emotional enough, you need to go. We gonna put you in the isolated zone as the Black Panther Party with Eldridge Cleavers. And I say it again, they made the right decisions. But at the same time, the damage is already done. But I understand what they did. So what we have to do, I'm going to make up a name. If you act this way, I'm going to do I'm going to call it the late great Eldridge Cleaver's isolation. That's where I'm going to put y'all at. Come on, let's go. You're on your own. I'm not debating. I'm not asking. I'm not debating. Not screaming. Oh, we gonna put you the late great Eldridge Cleaver. Oh, we gonna put you in isolation. You go over there. Yeah, you fend for yourself. You're no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
I coined that. So anybody said I coined this on here. You my witness, God in NollyWood.
Yep.
Y'all the witness in my chat. I coined that. The late great Eldridge Cleaver. Yeah, we gonna put you isolate. We gonna isolate you in isolation. Yes. You go right ahead. Go over there. No. So if you know anybody listen to it, you let them know it comes from here. Yeah, the Eldridge Cleaver's isolation. I coined it. And it ain't all about I coined myself, but the remembrance of tonight. So understand what I'm saying. Understand what he did great work. I'm not saying we do big work, but that one that he caused that helped bring down the Black Panther Party lasted 14 years later.
Mm.
Matter of fact, it helped him back in 69, 68 or 69, something like that. So we talking about almost 15, 16 years after that. You're in isolation. So salute to the Black Panther Party done that. And the other Cleveland, he went on to do some great things. And then I'm gonna tell you the same thing when he talking about the system and stuff like that. He ended up being part of the Republican Party back in the 80s. Isn't that something? The same system that you fought against towards the mid-60s, towards the 70s, you were the Republican Party. The same ones trying to kill you.
It's crazy, yeah.
Can't make this up. Y'all, if y'all don't believe me, go to read it. Because I had to remind myself, let me look over here. If I'm right, he represents the Republican Party. The same ones that trying to out him out, besides the Democrats. So when these brothers saying that he got to be isolated, they was right. Look what happened. Despite, HUEY knew he was on drugs throughout the years, and Ray Seals, he went on, this schooling and been an outstanding professor and started talking political science and stuff like that. They was right when they made that decision. I don't care what anybody said. Look what happened to Eldridge Cleaver. He did some great work. Yes, he did. Late Eldridge Cleaver, he did great work. There's no doubt about that. But this is what I'm saying. Self-emotion get in the way of our people. That's contradiction. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. On behalf of my channel, The Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. This is the last of Eldridge Cleaver, Self-Emotional. Let's talk about what my brother, God NollyWood, hashtag the true 2025, the #1 grinder. And I want to thank everybody that participated in the conversation. Thank you. Even maybe something new here and there, but thank y'all. And share this out. I want to thank Brother God NollyWood that took the time. I really appreciate that, bro. Because you did not have to, because I know you're a family man. But part 2 is going to be sometime next month. So I'm looking for y'all. We're going to schedule this ahead of time. And please come back and also engage with the people before they tell them to come. Tell them to come and engage. And let's keep our emotional intact and keep our beliefs intact, and to understand there's a bigger fight that we need, us as Africans to be part of the human race. That's the bigger picture right there. To have our own. Okay, and let's go back up the teachings of our our scholars in the past. They give us the blueprint, so we have to go back to rearrange our mind and rearrange our manifest of our soul, of our ways, because they gave us a lot of gems, and a lot of them had lived it too. And a lot of them have paid the price too. And let's understand that, yo. So thank y'all. Hopefully I'll do a live tomorrow. I don't know. It depends how I feel. And I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brother J. Gipp in the building. Brother Jesse, thank you for your. Let's keep on doing what you gotta do. Let me go up the line. I don't know if they're gonna let me go up and everything. Sister Wise Sports Betting, thank you for coming. Very much appreciated. Brother Alex, thank you so much. Let's keep on fighting, y'all. Let's keep on fighting. I just hope we see one day, man, that we could better get all the differences, that we hope that we could defeat white supremacy where it's supposed to be. And let us as African people, let us be the standard around the globe. I don't think it's gonna happen in my lifetime. I doubt it. But we gotta start from somewhere. We appreciate you. Oh yeah, go and support my sister Wild Sports Betting. All right, because she's doing her thing and everything, and that's we need to support that. And women, y'all need to support her channel too, because she's doing great work. Everybody doing great work here. Y'all keep up the great work. Thank y'all. Good night. Sleep tight and pleasant dreams to you. Yeah, I got that for Long Swept Wait. He did that. I think his show was back. He did it like almost 40 years. Long Swell. I like people. He's white, but I like that. Good, nicely tight, wedges in you, and I always like that. So shout out to Long Swell. He cool white guy. You know what I'm saying? He had his own band and stuff like that. He was cool white guy. So I always like that. Good night. Sleep tight and pleasant dreams to you. Something to throw at you, Oh, but he ain't black. Oh my God. It's just a song. You crazy. Right? But I ain't talking about the ones in the chat. But it's a song. Relax. Stop getting self-motivated. It's a song. It's a song. See, y'all get it. I felt it. I'm not talking about the ones in the chat. I feel it outside the chat. It's a song. It's a song. All right? You want something to drink? I give you something to drink to calm your ass down. It's a song. It's a song. It's a song. I write the song that make the whole world say, "Oh, it's not a black man, Barry Manilow. He from Brooklyn." It's a song. It's a song. The music is universal too. You know what I'm saying? It's a song. I write the word to make the whole world. And that song, Barry Manilow from Brooklyn. It's, you know, hey, it's a song. Oh God. I'm telling you, I like the clown in some of y'all, cause y'all, oh my God, you talking about like this, but you know, you know, A B C 1 2 3. That's the Jacksons, right? Jackson 5. They black. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Well, we gonna clown a little bit here. I feel like clown. Cause I like to get your man. I really do. I like to clown because you're stupid. You're sick. I ain't talking about the ones in the chat. I'm just talking about, you know, feeling. Don't be a hero. Gonna be through your life. That's the Haywoods. They white. Back in 74. I like that song when I was a little kid. Okay. I will clown y'all fool. Oh, I will clown y'all. You know, let me see. What's another song? Oh my God. Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah, what the way said. They white. It's a cartoon. Okay. Magilla Gorilla for sale. They white. It's enough for white. Okay. I like the song. Okay? That's in the mid-60s, all right? Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, and them yummy doing, yeah, right. Okay, in the mid-60s, okay? Oh, it's a pharaoh. Oh, it's a pharaoh. It's a theme song from Beretta, the late Robert Blake. I like that song. Right. Back in 75, 76. Hey, y'all, Barry Manilow made some jams. Right? You know, average white back. To pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces. They white. One black guy, average white back. They make good songs. Oh my God! Oh, you ain't talking about the black. You know, you ain't talking about Barry White. You ain't talking about this and that. No, you know what I'm saying? But you know, there's some people make some good songs. Look at that Oasis. White woman. I forgot it. I think Mary Mullery, Middle Oasis, 74. I like that song. She sounds black, but she's white. Middle Oasis. My name is Marie. My first name Marie. I forgot. I think of my last, something like that. Right? Maybe something like that. Yeah, I'm clowning. I'm making my point because these people are self-emotional. Oh, you supposed I was supposed to do nothing. I do whatever I please on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Get all that. Black Jack, do it again. Steely Dan, mostly white. 72, make some great songs. Steely Dan. Even that Now Let's Our Music. What's another song on? Oh God, that's the song, man. I'm telling y'all crazy. This one great. I ain't crazy. I just like good, great music. Ingeborg Humperdinck. Yeah. That's my late father's favorite artist. Ingeborg Humperdinck. Love. Man, you don't play Ingeborg Humperdinck. You ain't getting. I'm talking about the black man. You ain't making love to your own. Something wrong with your game, man. Time. We know a bad man, though. And you know, OJ Black, let me make love to you, baby. Sweet, 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 sweet love. Now, I'm just joking around, Sister Wild. I'm just making a point that how people can become self-emotional. Hey, you want to get the shoot? Y'all want to? I'm gonna say one last song. There's a message to a black man by the Temptations. I think the LP came for puzzle. I think puzzle people. Message to a black man. Play that. I think it's 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Shoot, you play that. What? Oh my God! You ready to go after them? You ready to go after the system after that? Message to a black man. Temptations, 969. I believe the LP, I believe Puzzle People. Pull that up. There's 2 verses, not the 3. Don't play the 3-minute version. Go to 6 minutes. I think it's 6 minutes, 14 seconds. Oh my God. You listen to the song and you hear the song. Oh, hear the steps. You ready to take some action against this system. I know that for a fact. You be like, yeah, say something. I dare you say something. I dare you say something. But that song help us move as a black man. You know what I'm saying? The Stokey called Michael, and these brothers, right, they paid the price. And the ones before them paid the price because they kept their emotions. Now, the ones that mentioned Eldridge Cleaver, let's learn from them. Let's learn. We got to learn from that. They put him in isolation, like I repeat again. They put him in isolation. Let's learn from that. And what he had done too, he put his family in risk too. Not thinking about the family, he thought about himself. Something to think about. Thank y'all. Very much appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed morning. Into the morning, afternoon. I don't know. I'm going to get on tomorrow. Today. But thank y'all. And Brother NollyWood, I'm going to hit you up in a few.
All right, King.
I'm gonna hit you up in the future. So stay by there and have a good. It's gonna be a part 2. Have a blessed night. This one is Ghettos. Let's work with each other despite our differences. Self emotional. Let's limit that, people. Let's limit that, because when we limit that, we have the better outlook of the movement of our people. Peace.
Peace.